Hello student. In last video, we have studied characteristic of different phylum such as Porifera, phylum Coelenterata, phylum Ctenophora, phylum Platyhelminthes, phylum Aschelminthes, then phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, phylum Mollusca, phylum Chinodermata, and phylum Hemichordata. In this video, we'll study the remaining phylum, that is phylum Chordata and its classes. So let us begin with the phylum Chordata. Now phylum Chordata, here the animals belonging to phylum Chordata are fundamentally characterized by the presence of notochord, a dorsal hollow nerve cord and paired pharyngeal gill slit. These are bilaterally symmetrical triploblastic coelomate with organ system level of organization. They possess a post-anal tail and a closed circulatory system. Phylum Chordata is divided into three subphylum, that is subphylum Vertebrata, which have backbone, subphylum Cephalochordata, which are consist of two amphibious and lanceolate organism, and subphylum Urochordata, also called as the tunicata. So these are the three subphylum under phylum Chordata. Now subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata are often referred to as protochordates and are exclusively marines. They are found in marines. Now why they are protochordates? Because Urochordata notochord is present only in the larval tail, while in Cephalochordata it extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout their life. So they have presence of notochord. So this is the characteristic of phylum Chordata, presence of notochord in the embryonic as well as later on it develops into vertebrata in the adult stages. So these are some example of Urochordata, that is Ascidia, Salpa and Doliolum. Now this is the Cephalochordata, Branchiostoma, with two organism or species, Lanceolate and Amphioxus. The members of subphylum Vertebrata possess notochord during the embryonic period. As I told you, it is their characteristic that notochord is present during the embryonic state. Now this is the embryo and you can see the presence of the notochord, and this is the hollow dorsal nerve cord. Okay. And this notochord later on develop into a vertebral column in the adult organism. The notochord is replaced by cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Thus all vertebrates are chordate, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Okay. All vertebrates are chordate because all vertebrates they will have presence of notochord, but all chordates are not vertebrate because those having all the notochord they will not have vertebra always. So vertebrates have a ventral muscular heart with 2, 3 or 4 chambers. So heart can be 2, 3 or 4 chambers in case of vertebrates. Kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation, and paired appendages which may be fins or limbs. So these are the characteristics of phylum Chordates. Now we will study their classes. The first class is Cyclostomata. Now Cyclostomata are characterized by round mouth, circular mouth. All living members of the class Cyclostomata are ectoparasite on some fishes, means they will be found on some fishes externally. They have an elongated body bearing 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration. Now you can see here clearly the gill slit in Petromyzon. You can count also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Petromyzon have 7 pairs of gill slits. So the same thing will be on the other side. Cyclostome have a sucking or the circular mouth without jaws. They do not have uh, true teeth. They have circular sucking mouth. Means they suck the nutrition with the help of this circular mouth, or they are without jaws. Their body is devoid of scale and paired fins. So they do not have scales. You can see it is smooth, and fins are no paired fins. You can see here. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. Circulation is of close type. Cyclostomes are marine but migrate for spawning to fresh water. So they are marine organism, but during the reproductive phase, that is the laying egg, they migrate to the fresh water. After spawning, within a few days they die. Their larvae, after metamorphosis, return to the ocean. So after the development into adult, they will return to the ocean. So these are the characteristic of class Cyclostomata. Now another class is Chondriocthyes. So Chondriocthyes are characterized by, they are also called as the cartilaginous fish because cartilage is present in them. So they are also called as the cartilaginous fish. They are marine animals with streamlined body and have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Okay, their skeleton inside. Endo means inside. So their skeleton is made up of cartilage. Mouth is located ventrally, that is the lower side. You can see here the mouth is located on the lower side. Ventral means lower side. You can see here the mouth is located ventrally on the lower side. Notochord is persistent throughout life. So here notochord is present in the embryonic state as well as in the adult state. Gill slits are separate and without operculum. That is, the operculum means gill cover. So you can see the gill slits, they are separate and without any covering. The skin is tough, containing minute placoid scales. So if scales are present, they will be very minute. It is in small numbers. Teeth are modified placoid scale which are backwardly directed. Their jaws are very powerful. They have strong teeth. Their jaws are very powerful. These animals are predaceous. That is, they feed on, they kill the other organism. Due to the absence of air bladder, they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. Okay? So they keeps on swimming so that they shall not sink to the bottom because they do not have air bladder. So they have fins to swim. Now these are the some examples of class Chondriocthyes. Scalodon, also known as the dogfish. Then Pristis, sawfish, you can see saw shape snout. Then Carcharodon, great white shark. Trigon, stingray. Now this trigon, they possess a stingray, a spine-like structure here which is a poisonous. Heart is two-chambered, one auricle and one ventricle. Some of them have electric organs, example torpedo, and some possess poison sting, example trigon, as I showed you. So here this is the poison sting. They are cold-blooded, called as the poikilothermus. So cold-blooded animals are called as the poikilothermus animals. Very important, you have to note down this definition. Poikilothermus means cold-blooded animal. That is, they lack the capacity to regulate their body temperature. They cannot keep their body temperature constant. Sexes are separate. In males, pelvic fins bear claspers. Okay, so this is the male trigone and this is the female. So in the pelvic region, they bear the clasper in the male, which is absent in the female. They have internal fertilization and many of them are viviparous. That is, they give direct birth to the young ones. Now next class is class Osteothys, also called as the bony fish. Here they have the two bones. It includes both marine and freshwater fishes with bony endoskeleton. Their body is streamlined. Mouth is mostly terminal at the end. So you can see mouth is mostly terminal at the end, not in the ventral surface. They have 4 pair of gills which are covered by an operculum on each side. Now you can see here the structure operculum. Now this is the operculum. You can see this is the operculum, and if you open this you will find the gill slits, okay, which are on the both the side. Skin is covered with the cycloid ctenoid scale. Now cycloid, you can see they have regular pattern on their body of cycloid scales. So scales, you can see they are in cyclic matter. So one below the other. So that's why they are called as the cycloid. Air bladder is present which regulates buoyancy, so which help them in floating. Heart is 2 chamber, 1 auricle and 1 ventricle. So remember that fishes have 2 chamber heart. They are cold-blooded animal. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is usually external, that is outside the body. They are mostly oviparous and development is direct. So they are oviparous, means they lay eggs, and development is direct. Now these are the some examples of osteothys, that is bony fish. Now this is the exocoetus, that is called as the flying fish, which you'll find in the sea. This is hippocampus, we call it as a seahorse. Clarias, magur. Then this is found in aquarium. This is used in the aquarium. Betta, fighting fish, we commonly call as the fighting fish. Now this is pterophyllum, angelfish, commonly called as the angelfish. Now these two are freshwater. This is the labio, or we also call it the rohu, and this is the catla fish. Now next class is class Amphibia. In Greek, amphi means dual and bios means life. So those organisms can live in both aquatic as well as terrestrial habitats are called as the amphibians. So amphibians can live in aquatic as well as terrestrial habitats. Most of them have 2 pairs of limb. So you can see here 2 pairs of limb, forelimb and the hind limb. The body is divisible into head and trunk. So this portion is called as the head and this portion is called as the trunk. Tail may be present in some and may be absent in some. So here you can see the tail is present, whereas here it is absent. The amphibian skin is moist without scales. They do not have scale, but the skin is moist. The eyes have eyelids. They will have the eyelids. A tympanum represents the ear. They do not have true ear, but they have a tympanic membrane and also called as the ear. This structure represents a ear. Alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts open into a common chamber called as the cloaca, which opens to the exterior. Okay, so they have excretory organ cloaca. Respiration is by gills. Some have gills, some have the lung and through skin. The heart is three-chambered, so amphibia possesses three chambers heart, two auricles and one ventricle. These are cold-blooded animals, that is, they cannot keep their body temperature constant. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external, that is, outside the body in the environment. They are oviparous, that is, they lay eggs, and development is indirect, that is, they have larval stage and then adult stage. Now, these are the some examples of class Amphibia. Example Bufo, we call it the toad. Then Rana, frog, common frog. Then Hyla, this is the tree frog. Salamander. Then Ichthyopis, this is the only limbless amphibia. Okay, this is the only limbless amphibia with the eggs you can see. So it doesn't have the limbs. Ichthyopis. So thank you students. If you have any difficulty, please let me know. I hope you have understood. So today we have studied phylum Chordata and its classes. So phylum Chordata, its characteristics, classes Cyclostoma, class Chondrioctis, class Osteoctis and class Amphibia. In next video we will study class Reptilia, class Apes and class Mammalia. Thank you.